Hi, Pally, aka the Crafty Princess and Doll Collector, and this is a just a quick update and sort of an additional review of a doll I got recently, Garden of Joy. She's a Blythe doll 16th anniversary issued doll that came out in September 2017. And I did a box opening of her. Not really, I guess I don't really show you me opening the box anymore, but I guess I showed you her in the box, and I took her out of the box and showed you her right after taking her out of the box. And she's been hanging around here for a while now. I finally, the other day, got a chance to give her a hair spa. Her hair is kind of, well, it was odd. It was like kind of greasy up here, but dry down here. It now feels a lot better up here, but it feels still kind of dry on the ends. So, I'm not really sure what I'm going to do. I don't know if I'm going to spa her again or maybe trim up this a little bit. She has a massive amount of hair. I don't have a doll that has as much hair. No doll. I mean, I have some dolls that have half as much hair. Her hair is a mix of mauve and blonde, and so the color is amazing and unusual. I love it. It's just, I mean, I don't know if you can see the mass of hair this girl has, which is one of the issue as far as her standing up in her stand. She has one of the shorter stands. I'm going to get out of shot and go get it and come right back. So because she comes with, this is obviously not her stock dress. This is a little dress I made that she's wearing. And the stock dress is this, again, you can go watch the video because I put her in the stock. But it's a really big, beautiful ball gown type of gown, and so the stand is short because if she wears that gown and you have a stand that goes around her waist, it's kind of problematic. However, if you use this stand, which is shorter than than most of the other doll stands that come up to here, she falls over all the time. At least that's what's been happening with me. So I don't use this stand for her at all anymore because I don't want her to break. But she's because of this massive hair, she's more than usually top heavy for a Blythe. Let's put it that way, because obviously with these big heads, they're all top heavy, and I was able to use a regular stand. Look at that. I was able, stay up there, girl. I was able to use a regular stand and have her in her stock. The shoes that she came with, again, they're over there. I showed them in the other video. They're pretty, but they don't stay on really well. I wish they had different shoes. There's a really inexpensive kind of shoe that I get often that are kind of similar to those, but they have a strap on them, and they're like, I think they're maybe $3 most places, and those are, to me, seem to be the most practical shoes for Blythes, other than like Mary Jane styles or boots. Otherwise, anything else seems to not really work that well as far as helping them stand up. So yeah, so the stand is a no-go for me. So I washed her hair. Basically, I soaked it in water and Dawn, like I said, because it was kind of greasy, but then the ends are kind of dry. So I also soaked it in some water with what do you call it, fabric softener, and then rinsed it really well, and then had her dry. And she's pretty much dry at this point. I live in Florida, so it takes forever for things to dry down here. But other than that, this is a doll. This doll is just a gorgeous doll. I'd like to say, finally, maybe Takara got it right. They've been known for, I guess ever since I've been collecting the past couple of years, there's been questions about their quality. I haven't had anything that's a really bad quality, but I have seen people who do have dolls with, hair plugs missing and all kinds of stuff. And I'm not saying that if you got this doll, you wouldn't have some sort of quality issues, but the one I got is probably one of the best quality Blythe dolls I have purchased since I've been collecting. Her hair is wonderful. Her face is beautiful. Her body, sometimes you get those little holes in their legs because, of course, they have metal in here. No holes, okay, on either of her legs. And especially with her skin so light, because it's translucent, that kind of stuff can show up sometimes. Her undies, she's still wearing her stock undies, amazing. I don't know why you have to get a special doll, like this, the you know, the anniversary type doll in order to get special undies, but I guess you do. I love these. They're pretty. They're nice and white, so I don't have to worry about her staining. They fit her great. Yeah, so she's definitely keeping the undies on. All her eye chips are supposed to be special eye chips, and you know, sometimes I just don't like all the eye chips. I mean, sometimes I'm like, well, I don't necessarily dislike them, but sometimes there's like, oh, I like that one the best, and the others are kind of like so-so. All of her eye chips I really like. Here's the green. And let's see, side facing blue. And by the way, her eyelids are a light brown. I'll show you here as I change. Let me just get her hair out of the way. So it's light brown, which that's a nice touch. I think it would have been nicer to have it a color, like maybe a light blue color or something would have been pretty. So these are like a lilac. I love these. These are gorgeous. And then another side, light brown. And so yeah, she has green eyeshadow, and she has these beautiful plumpy lips, which tends to be the case with translucent dolls. They have kind of a look to their lips, are a little bit fuller looking. This is I'm looking at my notes, she's a Radiance Renew as far as the mold, face mold goes. So what else about her? Yeah, just looking at her, the quality, like I said, is excellent quality, wonderful hair. Of course, I wish I didn't have to, you know, spend hundreds of dollars on a doll and then wash the doll's hair. That's not cool. But then again, I also realized that if a doll is going to be in a box for years, where some people who don't unbox the dolls, if they were to keep the doll in there and then, you know, 5 years later take the doll out, the hair could be super dry if there's not something on it maybe to keep it, you know, moist. I don't know if that's why they tend to be so greasy sometimes. If anybody knows, I would like to know. Let's see, her upholstering, they have a little charm on there. I would have liked to seen her with sleepy eyes. I'm a little bummed that there's no, I think sleepy eyes, she deserves sleepy eyes. I'm not going to change her because I'm not into customizing stock dolls. I'm way against that, especially a doll this special. You know, there's a limited number. They sold out quickly. I don't know if, you know, I'm sure they might show up again at some point, but who knows? You don't know for sure, really. But yeah, I adore this doll, and if you're looking for a very special Blythe doll, I can totally recommend her. She was pricier because she's a 16th anniversary doll, so, you know, they don't have as many of those. And the, you know, the anniversary dolls are, obviously they have all special eye chips and all that kind of stuff. So she does have extra elements of her that a typical stock doll doesn't have. But yeah, I think she's totally worth it. She looks great in everything. And I haven't named her yet. I'm trying to come up with something that's kind of ethereal, kind of woodsy, you know, because she's supposed to be this garden goddess, right? So I want something that would work with that. And she does, you know, come off to me like that. I know some people will say that's not true, but I see some Winter Arden look to her. Or at least I'd like to believe that, because I'd like to have Winter Arden. So this is as close as I'm going to get to that doll. And yeah, that's it. I hope you guys found this useful. And as usual, if you want to subscribe and give me a thumbs up and all that good stuff, I'd appreciate it. If you do just subscribe to the channel, always make sure now you got to hit that little bell for whatever reason these days so that you get notifications. And yeah, have a wonderful dolly day. Thank you guys for stopping by. Bye-bye.